A few notes to explain that Robert, the boy who loved robots, has just discovered this fantastic new robotics shop. And although he does not know it as yet, it is going to play a major part in his life. So here we go. Robert wondered whether he dared to go in, but he was stopped in his reverie by a shout from the other side of the road. "Hey, Robert!" He glanced round to see crossing the street towards him Alia, a girl who had only joined his form at the beginning of the summer term. At school, Robert was considered something of a geek, and he would be teased about it a little. But it was friendly teasing, because Robert was generally well liked by his classmates. And when it came to anything electronic, it was always to Robert to whom they turned for advice. Alia was rather different to most of the girls in Robert's form in a number of ways. Firstly, she was from California in the USA and spoke with a wonderful American drawl, which some people find annoying, but Robert found somehow rather fascinating. Secondly, she had the deep tan and long sweeping blonde hair that so many Californian girls have, but she was not tall like so many of them. In fact, she was about Robert's height and just a little younger. And thirdly, she seemed to share Robert's enthusiasm for things remotely controlled. "Hey, Robert, where have you been these last few days?" "Oh, I've been off with a bout of asthma. But you're okay now?" That sentence had been spoken by Alia as a question, as her voice rose at the end of the sentence. "Yes, should be back tomorrow." "Well, you haven't missed much. But we're going to do something on computer processors tomorrow in IT, so it's as well that you'll be there. You were looking into this new place. Looks great." "How come you're so interested?" "Well, it's my dad. He used to work in Silicon Valley." "Silicon Valley? What's that?" "Oh, it's a place in California. It's an area, really. It's south of San Francisco, and there's one almighty mass of factories and research places, all dealing with the development of computers, peripherals, software, and so on." "Wicked," replied Robert. "Well, maybe," Alia replied. But Dad was getting very depressed, what with all the speed of everything and all the travelling to work and travelling about. He used to come across here to the UK on business sometimes, and he just sort of grew to like it here. In the end, he brought us all over for a vacation and asked us at the end of it how we would like to live here. He said he thought the schools were pretty good, and I thought everything was kind of neat over here. "But isn't it hot where you used to live? Don't you prefer that? Everyone here seems to want to get out and into the sun. It's not always hot in San Fran, Robert. Sometimes it can be real cold." "So how did you decide?" "Show of hands." "Show of what?" "Show of hands," repeated Alia. "Dad, Mom, and my younger brother and I all voted to come. My elder sister voted against it." "So what happened?" "Well, she's 18, so Mum and Dad said she could stay if she could find someone to stay with. My grandparents said she could stay with them if she wanted, and so she did." "Hey, what does your dad do?" "My dad was killed in a road accident when I was 11. He was riding his Harley home from work." "Oh, Robert, I didn't know." She took his arm and held it tight. "No one told me.